Hi everyone, welcome to episode number 4, Ask Your Body on this weekly live show. So who is out there in Facebook land that wants to come and play and talk about the tools of Access Consciousness and how you use them to ask your body? Okay, yay, we got Gloria, woohoo! And Alison, yay! I'm seeing Alison, no, next week I'm seeing you. I'm all confused with my days. And who else would like to come and play? So we'll wait a few moments just to see if anyone else comes on to the Ask Your Body weekly live show. It's funny because I can see Gloria and Alison watching, yet, hi Alison, yet it's only saying one person is watching. That's really strange. This Facebook Live thing is a mystery to me. So anyway, I'll start. So I wanted to talk about how you can ask your body to create greater with your body and how you can ask questions to create different outcomes for what you're asking for you and your life. Now, your body, shock horror, has a totally different, hi Candy, totally different point of view to what you do. Our points of view as a being, is built on judgments and limitations and conclusions if you're not functioning from infinite being, which many of us are not. So how do you get to infinite being? Well, an infinite being perceives, knows, bees, and receives information, and a finite being functions from thoughts, feelings, and emotions. And then you've got your body. So your body is actually inside your being, and that's why often you may have heard this thing about expanding out in Access Consciousness, and it's when you're actually expanding out your being. So your body is here sitting in this chair or wherever you are, driving your car or wherever you are. Hi beautiful, hi Gloria, how are you going? And you ask your being to expand out 180 degrees in all directions to occupy a space of wherever you want to occupy the space from, because often our bodies are impacted by all sorts of things, and if you're not present with your body, and if you're not in the question, and if you don't expand out all that information that's coming in, so imagine your body is like the cat's whiskers, right? The cat's whiskers picks up all the information around it. And I used to have a Cocker Spaniel Cross Beagle, and she had long ears, so she would pick up the scent on her ears, and that would transfer to her nose, and she would know where she wanted to go and so forth. So imagine that your body is the same thing, that it's picking up all this information. If you don't have the tools to deal with that information, often you can get overwhelmed and overloaded, and that's when we get pain and suffering in our bodies. We feel extremely tired. We have meltdowns, all sorts of things, right? And we have sick days, whatever, right? So you want to ask your body some questions, and you want to expand your being out so that you don't have that impact on your body. So how do you expand your being out? So wherever you are, sitting in a chair, probably don't do it driving and closing your eyes because you might have a crash. Lie down on a bed, wherever's comfortable for you, and you ask to expand your being out 180 degrees in all directions to occupy the space of the room you're in, and then you get a sense of that. Okay, so do you feel different? Still notice where you're sitting in your chair or wherever you are and how your body feels, and then expand out 180 degrees in all directions and occupy the space of the suburb you're in, right? Because your being can be anywhere. If I say go to Paris, your body obviously is where you are right now, but you can get a sense of where Paris is, yeah? Or Iran, or right now I'm in Tasmania, so get a sense of where of your being in Tasmania. So occupy the space of the world you're in. Now occupy the space of the universe and beyond. And it's that easy, right? I've taken you through all those spaces But if you just ask your body to do, your being to do that, it will do it automatically. You don't have to think about it, it just occurs. So if you're feeling tired, you're contracted, you're in your head, your body's being impacted in any way, like I know for me, if I'm in large crowds or if I'm in a bar situation where everyone's drinking and it gets to a certain time at night, I'm like, oh, my body starts to contract and shut down and I need to get the heck out of there, right? So you can ask, and if, just say you can't get out of that situation for whatever reason, you can ask your being to expand out 180 degrees in all directions to occupy a space so that your body is not impacted. Right? So occupy a space where I'm not at the effect of what's going on around me. So I love that tool. It's a really awesome tool. Highly recommend using it. You may forget sometimes and go into all sorts of trauma and drama with your body, but remember that that tool is available and works really, really, really well. Hi, Kylie and Michelle and Cherie. How are you all? What else? So how else do you ask your body? So I have lots of ways that I ask my body certain things. So your body likes to move a certain way, but you may have decided at some point that your body likes to run, for example. Yet you always have injuries, you might always have shin splints, you may have impact on your knees and things like that, but you keep saying, I need to keep running. Actually, ask your body. Does your body like to run? And you might get a different kind of answer. I know for me, I had the point of view, so I was the opposite. I had the point of view that my body didn't like running, so I would avoid it at all costs. Except that one day, my dog was looking at me going, take me for a walk, take me for a walk, take me for a walk. And I was like, I'm on my computer, I'm working. Later, I'll take you for a walk later, just hold 5. But she wouldn't hold 5. So I was like, okay, we're going now. And I was walking, but I got this urge to run. So here I am running. And it increased the energy in my body. And I'm like, that's so strange, because I had this point, and funnily too, I've got 2 things there, but funnily I had this point of view that running wasn't for me, but it increased the energy in my body. But the other funny thing that occurred was I had some back pain. And that back pain from that running went away. Go figure. Like if you said to someone, I've got back pain, the last thing you would suggest is to go for a run. In this case, that's what created the change. So you don't want to conclude anything when it comes to your body. You want to always be in the question, because your body knows. It actually knows more than your being does. So if you work together in communion, you will have greater outcomes with your body. Now, what's some other things that you can ask of your body? You can ask it what it wants to eat. So this is something that I'm really drumming into my children at the moment. So my daughter the other day, she had a dance competition the next day, and she said, I want McDonald's. And I said, really? Does your body really want McDonald's? So she stood up and she did the muscle testing. Now, the way that you do the muscle testing is you stand up and you put a particular food in front of your solar plexus, or in that case, we didn't have McDonald's on hand unless we had driven there. So we just asked the body, would you like to eat McDonald's? And first of all, what you need to ask your body is, tell me, body, what a yes or no is. So body, show me yes, and your body will usually tilt forward. That's what mine is, but you've got to ask your body what yours is. Body, show me a no. And then you'll tilt backwards if that's a no for you. And so you put that food in front of your solar plexus, or you ask your body, would you like McDonald's? And if it tilts forward, okay, go for it. Which McDonald's do you want? Does it want a hamburger? Does it want a cheeseburger? Does it want a Big Mac? Does it want fries? So she asked, body, do you want McDonald's? And she got a massive no, right? She's like, it's so annoying. And I said, well, you do have a big competition tomorrow. Like, what would your body really like to eat? So we went through all these foods, and eventually we got to kale. She was like, I don't want to eat kale. And I said, all right, let's go out for dinner and we'll order something off the menu. So we went out and she ordered a salad, and what came was a rocket salad. And what's the closest food or the closest salad or closest green vegetable to kale, which would be similar to rocket. It's got kind of like that bitterish taste. So that was funny. I said, hey, you got your kale, the closest to kale. So that's one way that you can ask your body what it would like to eat. And what else does your body know? Like, how many times have you, for example, had sex with someone and then felt absolutely crap afterwards because you didn't ask your body if it would like to have sex with this person? So your being wants to, because your being has all these judgments and conclusions and thinks that this person is wonderful, and you see through the eyes of your judgments, and so you'll choose that being, that other person, and then your body's like, I don't like that. And so, you know, you might get unwell. You might feel absolutely crap afterwards. He might treat you like shit, whatever it is. So ask your body who it would like to have sex with. So that's another way of getting more in tune with your body and asking what it would like. Hi Farah, how are you going? Hi Dee. Anyone else that I've missed on here? Does anyone else have any questions or anything they would like to know about their body? Yes, yay. What else do I want to tell you? So we've talked about eating, we've talked about exercise, we've talked about sex. Yes. Wanted to tell a story about my daughter when one day she had an earache and she'd had the day off school, and I was asking, this is the thing, when you've got an issue going on with your body, you want to ask questions, right? You don't want to just assume, all right, I'm sick, or I have an ear infection. You don't want to assume any of that stuff. You want to ask some questions. So I actually took her to the doctor because I have a sense of what is going on with people's bodies. I don't know if I can actually see it, but I can feel it or perceive it in my own body, which is another thing that you want to be aware of. Don't ever say, I feel, say, I perceive that. If you say you feel something that isn't yours, you end up locking it into your body and it becomes yours. And then you try and get rid of it and try and get rid of it, and you might go on antibiotics and you might do a whole lot of remedies, but nothing works. I don't know if you guys have ever had that go on before, where you've tried to fix something. That is because it was never yours in the first place. So what do you do when you have a pain and suffering in your body? You want to ask, first of all, don't say I feel the pain. Say, what am I aware of? And is this mine? Is this mine, someone else's, or something else's, right? So if it's 99% of the time, by the way, it won't be yours, right? 99% of the time. This is where we buy all this stuff and we walk around for hundreds of years with all these aches and pains and sufferings in our bodies, right? So you want to ask, is mine? Is it someone else's? So if it's someone else's, you want to return it back to sender with consciousness attached. So you want to let them deal with that. That's their problem to deal with. And the funny thing is, we're like a daisy chain of issues, right? So your grandma might have something. Their friend might have something. The next door neighbor might have something. It's all linked like a daisy chain coming back to you. Right? So you're the person, the most conscious one that's on this live right now. So you get to break the chain. So who does this belong to? Return it back to sender, right? With consciousness attached so they can deal with it. Then you want to ask, okay, so if it's mine, someone else's, so if it's not someone else's, is it something else's? 99% of the time it'll be the earth requiring something of you. So I know I talked about this on a live before, but for that, you want to go 1, 2, 3 into the earth. So get whatever pain or suffering that you've got in your body, and you go 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and contribute that back to the earth, because it's the earth asking you for contribution, right? And you may need to do that all day, every day for stuff. If you are really connected to the earth, that may be something that you need to do every day, instead of taking a painkiller, for example. So back to my daughter, right? I will get back there eventually. I get all this information that drops in. It's like, oh. So my daughter had this earache. I actually have this thing where I can sense what's going on in someone's body, where I either can feel it in my own body, like I can perceive it in my own body. So I have to ask, what am I perceiving here? And I just know where it is. So it was funny because I could see where it was in her ear. So I actually wanted to take her to the doctor to get clarification on as well. So we did that, and we don't often go to doctors, but for this case I did. And as we were driving home, I said to her, okay, so there's something going on with your eardrum, right? Is there something that you didn't want to hear? Or you heard something that you didn't want to listen to? And she went, yes. She said, Daddy said something to me and I didn't want to hear it. And as parents do, sometimes things come out of our mouth that aren't so nice. And it might just not just be parents, people in general. Sometimes things come out of our mouths that aren't so nice. And he'd actually said to her, and it doesn't make him a bad person, it's just something that he said in the moment. Maybe he was really angry, peeved off, whatever. But he said, you're a horrible little girl. And she locked that information into her body, didn't want to hear it, and it became that ear infection. So I took her home, I'd asked those questions, and remember that once you get an awareness on something, which she did because her whole world just lifted, you don't want to go into conclusion about that either, because there might be more questions to ask. So I asked her, hey, do you want a body process? Yes, I got a yes on that. So we worked on her, and then by the afternoon she was done with the earache and was able to go to school the next day. And that's how magical and amazing your body is if you have the tools to assist you in eliminating a lot of this stuff. Because a lot of it ain't yours, and we just carry this stuff around with us. And sometimes we carry it from past lives. And sometimes we carry it because we biomimically mimic people. So we are really fabulous at mimicking others. So you want to ask yourself too, am I mimicking something? And, you know, like even when they say, oh, it's genetic, right? As soon as you say that, how much of that feels like a lie? Is it really genetic, or are you just really good at mimicking somebody, right? And what if there is a different possibility? Biomimetic mimicry is a process actually that we run in the foundation class and in some of the body process classes. Highly, highly, highly recommend coming to a foundation class and learning that, or at any point going to a body class or getting someone to run it on you, because you can unlock thousands of years of limitations and mimicking that you've done with your body from other people. And I mean everyone, including your parents, including your family, including even friends. Like I can sit with someone for an hour, and if they have a big personality, I'll already find myself like taking on some of their traits. That's how clever we are. And you see it with kids. Kids mimic from a very young age. That's how they learn. So you can undo a lot of that stuff to do with your body. So what else do you guys want to do? So we've talked about how we mimic. We've talked about how you can ask your body, what would you like to eat? Now the other thing is you want with your body and eating, it's a really important one. When you're hungry, you want to ask, is this my hunger or is it someone else's? You also want to be aware of when you're standing in line to get food, whether you're taking away or at restaurants, because guess what? You are super aware, as we talked about, and you're going to pick up on everyone else's requests, including their being's requests, even though their bodies don't want it, in that restaurant, in that takeaway line. So if all of a sudden you're going, oh my God, I want souvlaki, just out of the blue, you want to ask, okay, is that someone else's request? Like I've often discovered that. And I've often found that I can sit with people at a restaurant and I know what they're going to choose from the menu. I know their bodies are going to choose that. And that's another cool thing about when you're going to a restaurant. You want to sit down, look at the menu and see which one pops first. And often you'll go, oh, I don't want that because I don't like capsicum, or I don't like something else or some other ingredient in there. But what if that popping is actually your body going, hey, you know, eat this. It'll be delicious. So have a little go at that. Instead of going into conclusion when you're going out to a restaurant, open the menu, have a little play, have some fun, maybe even get someone else to order for you what they think your body would like, and have a look and see which one bounces off the page, yeah? And then choose to eat that and see if your body finds it really delicious. I have this really funny thing that goes on for me when I go out for dinner and my body doesn't want to eat very much. It will choose something where there will be chili in it. And even though I'll read the menu back to front and it doesn't say anything about chili, not one word, guess what? There'll be chili in it. And I find, I'm not very good with chili, by the way. I don't love it. And if I start to eat something with chili in it, I can only eat a very, very, very small amount. So strangely, when my body's in that kind of mood, or I'm out at a restaurant where the food may not be as deliciously made that it could be, then my body will sure as hell put a little order into the restaurant, the kitchen, and out the meal will come with chili in it. Every time. It's hilarious. So I've had that occur many, many times, and I'll only have like a very, very small amount of food because of that. So, and I've also had another situation where my dog ordered extra food, because you're like, just to clarify here, you have the ability to put your order into the kitchen through your head to the chef, right? Your body has that ability to do that. I know it's strange, but it occurs. Have you ever been to a restaurant where you've sat down, ordered a meal, everyone else has got theirs, but you didn't? That's actually no accident. It's because your body didn't want to eat. Or you'll order something and something completely different comes out. And you'll go, excuse me, and you'll get the chef to make you the thing that you ask, and then you won't really enjoy it, right? But your body actually will override the person that's taken the order and put the order in at the kitchen. I had that happen to me twice when I was in Malaysia with my partner, and the food came out and I was like, oh, and he goes, that's not what you ordered. And I'm like, I know. And he's quickly whisked it away from me and taken it back, and before I've even had a chance to say anything, and they've brought the other food dish out, which is what I ordered, and I haven't enjoyed it. I've hated it. And I've had another situation where I ordered some rice dish and it came out and I had a taste of it and I thought, oh, this is not what we ordered, but it was really delicious. But again, before I could even say anything, my partner had raced off, reordered what we had ordered, and I've eaten the dish that we got, and I'm like, oh, that was terrible. I would have been happy with the first dish. So yeah, your body has an amazing ability to create magic in all sorts of situations, and it will override you if you let it. You can even tell it to tell you when to stop drinking. I've had situations where I've knocked glasses off tables because my body has had enough of the red wine, and I've all of a sudden just knocked the glass over and it's poured everywhere. And I'd already known in that moment that I'd had enough, but I was ready to keep going, and it went, So you can ask your body to override you. Just know that it is totally possible. Anything's possible with your body if you just ask the questions. Body, do you want to eat this? Body, would you like to have sex with this person? Body, what kind of exercise would you like to do? Body, what is it that you would like to do today? And if you ask those questions every single day, every time you wake up, you will have a far better and a far greater communion with it than you ever thought possible. Hi, Caroline. What did you say? Bodies want weird stuff. Remember the olive oil on the potatoes mine wanted? Yes. Olive oil on potatoes, that's yummy. I'd have that on that. Bodies are so clever, as Farah said. I mean, if you really take the time to adore the capacities that your body has, instead of judging the shit out of it, which we often do. We wake up, the first thing we do is we judge our bodies as soon as we look in the mirror in all sorts of ways. I wish, what else is possible with that, where we could have that nurturing and kindness for us, what else could be possible for us in our beautiful bodies if we just ask questions every day and had a different possibility. So on that note, I'm going to say sayonara. I've had a massive day today. I got up, I've flown to Launceston on a tiny plane. By the way, it was very little. I was like, ugh. And I'm here to do bars and foundation tomorrow. And I'm in this beautiful, beautiful venue. I can see 360-degree views of Launceston. I'm really, really high up. It's such a stunning place. I can't wait to explore around here. Yeah, it's awesome. So sorry, Dee, did you say, after foundation, my 46 years of a garlic allergy is gone? Wow, that's cool. Now, that's awesome, Dee. Thanks for sharing. I love it. That's so funny. People often come to me and tell me about allergies they've changed from the foundation, and we don't know whether it's the body processes or it's the verbal clearings or whatever it is, but shit changes. I had a client in my class that had an allergy to alcohol, which is a bit of an annoying one to have, really, because it's nice to have a drink every now and again, right? And she would come up with this burning, horrible feeling all under her skin. And anyway, she did one day of foundation. We talked a lot during that class about her allergy and what it was, and asked some questions, and she had some body processes run. And that night she went out and had a drink, and she had no reaction, and she'd been reacting for years. And she was like, oh my God. And ever since then, even though she doesn't drink a lot, she'll just have a drink, here and there. She can actually enjoy a drink, which is bloody awesome. So thank you for sharing that, Dee. I've had, many, many other people share other stuff about allergies that have changed, and it's so bloody cool. So your body's amazing, and you are a gift, and these processes are a gift to you, and you have this magic within you anyway. I'm just sharing tools with you. I'm just sharing with you stuff that you can use to pull out that magic, right? It's already there. How cool is that, right? So what if we could activate that, exponentialize that, and make it greater so that you could have the joy and happiness with your body that you've been asking for? What's Alison asking? I have no idea what my so-called allergies are. The doctors don't have a clue, but thank you, I can work on it. Yes, you totally can. And and if you come to any classes, I know you're coming to classes next week, Alison, I'm sure that they will be a massive contribution as well. So what else is possible? Anyway, thank you all, guys. I've prattled on enough, I think. I've got so much to share. I think bodies are my thing. I was a dancer for many, many years, since the age of 3. So I have a lot of I don't know if that's the reason, but I've just always had a lot of capacity with bodies. So, and I've always loved bodies. I've always loved touching bodies and contributing energy. And I've always had, these skills of knowing what's going on in bodies. So it's a fabulous topic for me. I really, really do love talking about it. So hopefully we can do maybe a Zoom soon on this very topic where we can find out more. Anyway, I look forward to seeing you soon on Facebook or in person or live or wherever you may be in the world. And I hope you have, it's Thursday, isn't it? I hope you have the most beautiful rest of your week and your weekend. And I adore you all. See you all. Bye. Thank you.